Before the video starts, I want to confirm you guys that I did in fact get permission from the creator. I'll give you guys a little screenshot. But other than that, hope you guys like, subscribe, and sorry if it's rushed or anything. It's my first time doing this, so bye bye. All right, most of you are familiar with the show Total Drama, and others are familiar with the alternate universe that's called Island of the Slaughter, where it takes season 1 and it's basically inspired by the episode The Man in the Woods, where of course the same campers are being hunted and some were killed in the process. So sadly I couldn't find the original alternate universe on this, but I managed to find a season 2, not by the same creator, but this is kind of like it. Now, anything that stands out, it's because of them. But don't blame them, of course. Also, I'll provide a link to this. It's on TikTok, so you can follow the original creator. Now then, let's start. What was supposed to be unknown, season 2 is taking place. Scene 1. Ready, set, slaughter. Victim 1, Chris McClane. Chris was slowly getting more sadistic as the episodes went on, but all the same, he was the boss of the show, so it simply made sense he had to go first. Even if Chef watched in horror as his husband was impaled, even if Chef left the crew, leaving the contestants behind, Chris is the first person you see when you enter the set. Your boss was dead in front of you. No wonder you didn't hear back from him after many phone calls. He was impaled on a set light, but you can't focus on him. You focus on your friends and trying to find survivors. And as you can see, Chris is the first one to go. Scene 2, Machine Chaos. Victim 2 and 3, Jeff Riley and Bridget Summers. When you look over the giant animatronic, the first thing you notice is the color red all splattered around its hands and mouth. Tyler, ever the curious guy, opens the mouth, even if the danger of its suddenly closing was ever so present. But as he opened it, 2 familiar corpses tumbled out. You can't make them out at first, at least until Cody sees Jeff's face and Bridget's eviscerated torso. The young couple had been crushed by those metal jaws, with their whole lives ahead of them and purely in love. And now their corpses are in front of you, decaying with flies feasting on their flesh, and you can't help but puke. So second victims, Jeff and Bridget. People in the comments theorized that the way the order was going, they thought that it was probably just the same way in the show they were being eliminated. But of course, it's just a theory, so I'm not gonna hold on to that. So, scene 4. 9 lives, 9 pieces. Victim 4, Trent Cooper. Trent had been erratic. At least that was what Gwen said when Cody had found her. Much to his relief, you may have gained another ally to help you through the movie set. But the musician was long gone, even with the screams of Cody when you find him. You found him in pieces. 9 pieces. Either a limb, a head, a torso, or even his organs. They were attached to pulleys, pulled apart with the toughest of forces. And now the man obsessed with the number 9 had died in 9 pieces. So now we see Noah has reunited with Gwen, but sadly Trent has died. Scene 5. No eating on set. Victim 5. Owen Burnham. Gwen had recounted how much Owen ate when the set was free of the crew, unknowingly dooming himself to a slow and painful death. She had remembered how she and everyone else tried to find a remedy to seize his body, vomiting every day. When you all stumbled across his corpse, you also found Izzy, still stroking his hair, despite the putrid smell of rot. Tyler had to force her away, even if she put up a fight. But it was never better than her being in an unsafe area. And you had to grieve the loss of one of your best friends, but also the survival of another. You have gained another ally. but at what cost? And we see how Owen has met his demise by doing what he loves. Scene 6. Stop hanging around. Victim 6. Heather Kazuga. When you find Lindsay, Heather is utterly relieved, although even the sickening sweet reunion wasn't enough to lift the spirits of the group. Not when you went inside one of the sets and saw a hanging body. Heather, one of the least liked people in the entirety of the cast there, her mouth agape as if she was struggling for air in her final moments, and her hands tangled in a rope around her neck. Lindsay couldn't bear the look, but you had to stare in disbelief. So we reunite with Lindsay, to find out that Heather had sadly hanged herself. Scene 7. You can't run from me. Victim 7. Leshawna Olongola. When you stumble into the next room, Harold is on defense. He is prepared to fight, but he only calms down when Cody comes into view and comforts him. But when you look behind him, you see Leshawna, her face stitched into a first smile, and buttons in place of her eyes. She was long gone. Even it seemed like Harold never left her side. With every death, your guilt is building, even if this isn't your fault. But it sure feels like it when every death is going more recent. Scene 7. Such a pretty face. Victim 8. Justin Kalani. Cody is in panic when you find a faceless corpse, and so is Harold. You've had anatomy classes before. You know the canvas of a muscle and gore that lies underneath the face. But seeing how it looks, with maggots eating the edges of his gums, it is one you have to look away from. But even then, you can't escape the gruesome scene with that pretty face pinned to a brick projector screen. You can't bring yourself to look any longer, and you are ever more determined to find who's ever left. And we see how Justin has died, with his face torn apart. Scene 8. Feeding. Victim 9. Beth Yangston. Lindsay recounted how Beth had died, but when you looked to the scene of the crime, there was nothing left. There were dried puddles of blood and her broken glasses laying on the ground. And her broken glass, but not even a finger or bone was found. Except, DJ was sitting with the bear, stroking its fur, and even though his cheeks were tear-stained, he still comforted the starving animal. You can't bring yourself to be mad at him, or the animal, but it seemed like one of the most unfortunate events. So here we get the idea that Beth was eaten by a bear, but we managed to find DJ, or Noah managed to find DJ with the bear. Honestly, it is a bad way to go like that. I feel bad for Beth. Scene 10. Climax. Victim 10. Duncan Taru. You finally find the last of the survivors. Courtney, you find her furiously searching for her boyfriend in the bushes of the forest set. Her knees and hands stained with dirt and scratched from blisters. DJ and Tyler have to drag her away. No matter how much she insists that she has to find Duncan, but you know it's not safe. Especially with those shadows in the corner of your eyes. So even if there could have been the minuscule chance of finding the punk, the blood-stained forest floor said more than enough